Going to have one that starts with the banjo. So if you ever wanted to dance just to a banjo, and then Sherry will come in with a guitar, this is now is your chance. By the way, these are 3 contra dance tunes, but you can do any dance, including the one you make up.
They figured that out, I think, already. That's what I'm noticing.
I'm just validating the idea.
Give them permission. Nice, Phil. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tunes were The Boys of Wexford first, and Scotland the Brave, followed by Come Dance and Sing. Well, we have one that could almost be a slow dance for the dancers. I don't know if these dancers, we'll see if they enjoy a slow dance. It's a kind of a bluegrass blues called Mr. Engineer. 1, 2, 3, 1.
Engineer, reach up and blow the whistle. Let me hear that lonesome sound. For it blends with the feeling that's in me. The one I love has turned me down. Gonna catch me freight train. Lord, I'm leaving this lonesome town. Don't know where I'm going or where I'll wind up. The one I love has turned me down. Engineer, reach up and blow the whistle. Let me hear that lonesome sound. For it blends with the feeling that's in me. The one I love has turned behind each engine. I'll ride the last one to the end of the line. I don't know where I'm going or where I'll wind up. Just anything to ease my troubled mind. Engineer, reach up and pull the whistle. Let me hear that lonesome sound. For it blends with the feeling that's in me. The one I love has turned me down. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Well, I would like to sing a ballad. I've been singing a lot of ballads in the last 30 years, and I don't get to do them too often, but you're playing with me. Yeah. Don't go away, Mr. Banjo. But this is Little Margaret and Sweet William, and it's a version I learned from, where did I learn this? West Virginia singer, Maggie Hammonds. Little Margaret's sitting in her high old chair, combing back her long yellow hair, when she saw Sweet William and his newlywed wife standing by the rock so near. She threw down her ivory comb, blew back her long yellow hair, saying, I'll go out and bid him farewell and never more go there. Awful lately in the night, Willie was fast asleep. Little Margaret appeared all dressed in white, standing at their bed feet, saying, how do you like your snow white pillows? How do you like your sheets? How do you like the fair young maid who lies in your arms asleep? Very much do I like my snow white pillows, well do I like my sheets. Much better do I like the fair young maid who stands at my bed feet. Out to go and saddle up a roan, and he went to her father's house that night, knocked on her door alone. Is Margaret in the house, or is she in the hall? Little Margaret lies in her coal black room with her face turned to the wall. Unfold, unfold the snow white robe, see there it is so fine, and let me kiss those cold, cold lips, I know they'll never kiss mine. Once he kissed her lily white hands, twice he kissed her cheeks, 3 times he kissed her cold, cold lips, fell in her arms asleep. Little Margaret.
Well done.
Thank you.
You know, I've gotten quite a bit of comment on this banjo because it's It's got the planets. Have you noticed that the inlay on this banjo is the planets? And you might, some of them have rings and they're of different sizes, but I'm telling you, every one of these planets here is Pluto to me. It's because I'm for the underdog. You might remember a few years ago that Pluto was banished from the solar system. I don't know, some high and mighty, you know why it was? Because Pluto is different. Pluto's doesn't circle the sun on the same plane as all the other planets. It's a little bit tilted, and it goes inside of Neptune's orbit for a short time. It's the only planet that cuts off another planet's orbit. So just for that, I don't know, there's nothing that Pluto can do about it, but, they kicked it out of the solar system. But then you know what happened? They sent some space probe out that was visiting all the distant planets, and it visited Pluto, and they found out that there's water on Pluto. Of course, it's not running water. It's, frozen water. It's ice. And then they found out, it sort of has an atmosphere. And so now they're retracing their steps because they're finding out, Pluto is more like the Earth than was originally thought. So maybe we shouldn't kick it out of the solar system. But so I think we always got to be thinking about Pluto, because, I don't know if you think they're a brother planet or a sister planet, but it's definitely, whatever you think, it's a sibling planet. So all of my planets here are, to me, they're all Pluto. And by the way, the banjo was made by Tom Neckville, who's out of Bloomington, Minnesota. He's got a whole factory that makes banjos. One for me?
All right, you're not going to play one rainbow now?
You want me to do that?
No, and here, the whole time I thought you were talking about a dog with big feet.
Yeah.
Sure. Who am on for me? Yeah, we can do that, yeah.
1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Miss Mary Jane, Mary Jane, Mary Jane, riding in the buggy, Miss Mary Jane, a long way from home. Who moaned for me? Who moaned for me? Who moaned for me, my darling? Who moaned for me? I got a house in Baltimore filled with chicken pie. Who moaned for me? Who moaned for me? Who moaned for me, my darling? Who moaned for me? And I got a guy in Baltimore, Baltimore, Baltimore. I got a guy in Baltimore, he likes chicken pie. Who moaned for me? Who moaned for me? Who moaned for me, my darling? Who moaned for me? Fare thee well, my little bitty am, for I'm gone away. Who moaned for me? Who moaned for me? Who moaned for me, my darling? Who moaned for me? We're going to have some sing-alongs on this one. I know that. People, feel free. I would like to hear nice, loud voices on this, even though it's a quiet song, because it's such a nice song from the American Song Bag. And I'm starting to revive those songs. I learned these even though they were popular on the radio for my parents, I learned them when I was a little kid. So they're part of my memory. I don't have to think about it.
My memory from my family would be the AM radio, because you know why they had AM? It was only AM. There were a few radios with FM, but nobody trusted it. It was because in either the 30s or the 40s, there was an FM band. It wasn't very popular, but then the government decided, well, we have to move the FM band. So instead of being whatever it was then, they moved it to what it is now, which is about 88.1 all the way up to 108 point something. And so, but the old radios were different frequencies, so you couldn't use them anymore. And they made this change just about when television was invented. So were you going to go out and buy a radio that you thought might not work, or were you going to buy a television? And the medium with the pictures, I think, won that one. But anyway, so these old radios were AM, and they had a plastic grill, which if you turned up the volume a lot, they rattled a bit. And in our house, it was on top of the refrigerator. At any rate, I really love Sherry's treatment of this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
With someone like you, a pal so good and true, I'd like to leave it all behind and go and find a place that's known to God alone, just a place to call home. We'll find the perfect peace where joys will never cease, somewhere beneath a kindly sky. We'll build a sweet little nest somewhere out in the west and let the rest of the world go with someone like you, a pal so good and true. I'd like to leave it all behind and go and find a place that's known to God alone, just a place to call home. We'll find perfect peace where joys will never cease, somewhere beneath a kindly sky. We'll build a sweet little nest somewhere out in the west and let the rest of the world go by. Thank you. No fair looking the words up on your smartphone. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Another one that Phil made up. Wonderful banjo tunes.
This one's called The Dark Before the Storm. And the inspiration comes from, there was a small wooded area near where I grew up as a kid. And there was one day, it started out to be a hot, muggy day, and then the air got very still, and it was still, I could tell, and it got dark, And, this is summertime, so it doesn't get dark at 6 at night. It gets dark much later. So you could tell a storm was coming. And I kind of carried around that image for a long time, and then thought I'd make up a tune based on that. That's what this is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thanks, everybody. That's The Dark Before the Storm.
Title cut to that record that's over there, isn't it?
Yeah. That's, and we have over there on the official merch table, which is the pool table, some of Sherry's CDs and some of mine. They're $15 each, or 2 for $20. And there's also a sign. I send out emails whenever we play. So if you want to be on the email list, there's a legal pad there. We don't give it to the government. It's just called a legal pad. And a pen there, and you can just put down your email address and your name, and we'll send you something every once in a while. Then you can come to something that we're doing. Mm-hmm. Let's do. I'm gonna do. Let's do.
I've endured.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll get to some others.
I'll get to some others. I can sing a solo too.
Okay.
I can't see the clock from here, so. Can you?
No.
See?
I've endured. This is a number written by a great songwriter named Ola Bell Reed. 1, 2, 3.
Born in the mountain 50 years ago, I've trod the hills and valleys through the rain and snow. I've seen the lightning flashing, I've heard the thunder roll. I've endured. How long can one endure? the summer on into the fall. Too many mouths to feed, Dad couldn't clothe us all. Got sent to church on Sunday to learn the golden rule. I've endured. How long can one endure? I've worked for the rich, I've lived with the poor. I've seen many a heartache, there'll be many a more. I've lived, loved in sorrow, I've been to success's door. I've endured, I've endured. How long can one endure? I've endured, I've endured. How long can man endure? Can you do a band with me outside of music? Oh, you want to announce that?
Oh, I can. Okay. Well, we have these evaluation forms, and the thing about them is they really matter. And the great thing about them is they take about a minute to fill out, and the library has pencils or pens. So it's really easy, and it helps continue this funding to have this. You know, the thing I really love about these library concerts is you can show up 5 minutes in advance, and you don't have to go to downtown Minneapolis. That's kind of addition by subtraction, not having to go to Minneapolis to see something and get parking and fight traffic and so forth. So if you'd fill one out, I know the library would love that. And then, you know, Lisa and Deb are here, and you can tell them what you'd like to see. So it's a pretty good deal all the way around. Want to play a little Red Wing?
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. We got 10 minutes, so I think I'll sing it. So I'll sing Come On, You Fair and Tender Lady.
You're going to sing, what did you say?
Come on, I'll sing a solo. Okay? We have enough time for me to sing another ballad. I learned from Jean Ritchie, who died this last year. She taught a lot of people a lot of music, from traditional music, kind of close to the ground, off the radar. You don't hear too much about it, but people are still singing these songs and passing them along. And it's an important part of what we do. We play music, we play tunes, we sing songs. Important people don't care, but we love them. So here's a Jean Ritchie song, version of Come All Ye Fair and Tender Ladies. There are many versions. Come all ye fair and tender ladies, Take warning how you court young men. They're like a bright star, a cloudy morning. First they'll appear and then they're gone. They'll tell to you some loving story, declare to you their love is true. Straight away they'll go and they'll court some other, and that is the love they have for you. I wish I was a little sparrow, that I had wings and I could fly. I'd fly away to my false true lover, and whilst he passed, I'd sit and sigh. But I am not no little sparrow, I've got no wings and I can't fly. So I'll sit right here in my grief and sorrow and pass my troubles by and by. How about a country song, Phil?
Okay.
You know which country song I'm talking about?
I think you're talking about Patsy Cline.
I am. Let's do that.
1, 2, 3.
I fall to pieces each time someone speaks your name. I fall to pieces. Time only adds to the flame. You want me to find someone else to love, someone who loved me too, the way you used to do. And each time I go out with someone new, you walk by and I fall to pieces. Each time I see you again, I fall to pieces. How can I be just your friend? You want me to act like we've never kissed. You want me to forget pretend we've never met. And I tried, but I haven't yet. You walk by and I fall to pieces. You walk on by and I fall to pieces. Thank you.
Do the farewell blues medley?
Sure. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Thanks very much for coming and having us out, and you coming out to see what we're doing. And that's Sherry Minnick. I'm Phil Nusbaum, and we're going to conclude with a pair of Earl Scruggs banjo tunes. One of them's called the Farewell Blues, and I've heard this, on an old recording of a kind of a New Orleans-style jazz band. So I think this tune must have been part of the general repertoire, maybe 70, 80 years ago. And after that, we'll play an Earl original called Ground Speed. And by the way, the first one's in C and the second one is in G. So if you're keeping score on your bluegrass scorecard, you might want to write that down. Because, you'll pick up the scorecard. Next time you change residences, you'll have a big cardboard box of this kind of stuff, and you'll pick it. Oh, yeah, remember, they changed keys during that medley. At any rate, let's do it.
Maybe.
Thanks very
Awesome,
much, everybody.
Phil. Thank you very much for coming out tonight.